What up, gamers? Hunter here, and welcome back to Girls Frontline 2 Exilium. So yeah, let's go and finish up this story here with Lind. Yeah, we'll see how she takes on Krolik over here, the other Krolik. Alright, as the audience cheers, the spotlight focuses on a fall and follow a crimson doll as she slowly walks into the ring. It is KO9, sword in hand. And then a shaft of dazzling light shines down on the right side of the arena, framing a purple doll who is holding a familiar shotgun. Ah, leader, that's Lind. Cheetah, try to establish comms with Lind right now. At this range, we should be able to contact her using our squad channel. Beep beep. The transmission goes through, but Lind's face remains blank and she does not respond. What should we do, leader? I think Lind's really been taken over by that whatever virus. It can't be helped. We'll just have to go to her ourselves. I'll ask Tololo to make the necessary preparations. Cheetah, get ready to back me up. Lind's safety is our top priority. Okay, here we go. I thought we'll actually see a 1v1. Oh, I guess we are here. Hello? Hello? Leader, I'm not getting a reply from Lind's communicator. I mean, I assume that's just to make her not look suspicious. Not good. They're about to attack. Oh, that's an interesting cutscene. Cheetah, pay attention to the enemy's movements. We need to step in to provide support if Lin is in danger. Alright, the whole squad is here. Let's go and play. Just Krolik? Okay, it's gonna be fast, because I'm assuming she's low level. Alright, finish her off. Oh yeah. There we go, we win. Just those two. Oh, that was it? Okay, okay, that was fast. Continue. Let's just 2 minutes in. Kaboom! A hot load of shot hits the floor of the arena, metal ball ricochet off the bulletproof glass, and cracks spiderweb everywhere. Upon seeing Lin's attack miss, KO9 quickly swirls her blade around, converting her swing to a thrust aimed directly at Lin's chest. Lin steps in diagonally backward and barely avoids a strike, but KO9's sword tip grazes her arm and leaves a dark red wound. That hurts. Fortunately, my tactical BDU is made of a strong material, so only my sit skin got nicked. Otherwise, I might have lost the entire arm. KO9 clearly doesn't anticipate her opponents avoiding her otherwise fatal blow, because she freezes up in a surprise. However, she quickly changes her stance and resets her sword, ready to launch another attack. Lin's feet keep moving, and she dodges a series of attacks before pulling away to make some space between them. Why is she so dang fast? Is she actually a rabbit or something? She's been on me like Sabrina or dinner ever since the battle begun. On dinner, ever since the battle begun. So she even knows Sabrina too. But yeah, like I'm guessing, I'm not sure if they met, in the past, like, back in the first game. But I guess the only time I would know that they met would be on that event. So yeah, I do assume that, this whole thing at least takes place after that. I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to counterattack at all, even if it's because of the beta virus. That kind of tenacity is just scary. Lin carefully studies KO9's every move as she works to get her breathing under control while shifting on her center of balance and keeping her finger on the trigger. Don't panic, Leader and Cheetah are in the audience. All you need to do is draw the sounds until the robots go berserk. Okay. So yeah, she does acknowledge. But yeah, I assume she didn't reply back because, they might be watching her lip movements. Like, she might be talking to someone, like, who is she talking to? But also, she is trying to draw this out too until the robots go berserk. I'll open fire the next time she rushes me. Should be able to find an opening then. Yeah? Now, the moment she sees KO9 raises her sword, Lin pulls the trigger without hesitation. A wall of shots spews from her gun barrel, and slams into KO9's weapon with a crisp sound of metal on metal. Although KO9 evades most of the metal balls with preternatural speed, one of them manages to punch through her shoulder. Surprisingly enough, KO9 completely ignores her shoulder injury and brings her blade down on Lin's head with a cleaving chop. Lin rolls back and out of the way, once again evading the attack by the skin of her teeth. No wonder Carl said something about wanting to improve the beta virus's sensory side effects. She's clearly nowhere as sensitive to the pain as I am. How is that even fair? Can't be helped. Time to go full auto on her. I'll just have to fix your frame once we get out of here. You know, I am curious about that. So they're going to repair Krolik's body. At least that's what she plans to do right now. I'm just wondering what that means for the story. If are we gonna have two Kroliks? I assume this Krolik will if she ever makes it out of here, and she gets repaired, she'll go on her own way and never to be seen again. But yeah, I'm not sure. Lin takes a deep breath, then decides to max out her power output. A curtain of red-hot lead instantly blocks off the way ahead of her. KO9 steps aside and dodges each and every pellet headed her way. Then she reverses her grip on her sword and rushes Lin. Once she determines that KO9 is within range, Lin focuses on her fire on KO9's lower body. Huh? KO9 loses her balance as she takes a hit to her right leg, which supports her frame. Lin jumps over, pressing the off-balance KO9 to the ground with her elbow and pressing the muzzle of her gun against KO9's head with her other hand. That ought to settle her now. However, KO9 chooses this moment to erupt with tremendous force. She punches up with the back of her blade, knocking back the gun on her head, before slamming her right knee into Lin's chest, taking her by surprise. Gah! Pain radiates through Lin's chest as she staggers back while panting heavily. Dang it, it hurts so bad I can't see straight. Although her vision is blurry now, Lin still strives to right her balance while opening fire in KO9's direction. Soon, the Auto 12 she's holding clicks as its hammer falls on an empty chamber. KO9 dashes up right in front of Lin, her sword held high. Lin! And then KO9's hand suddenly freezes in midair. The light above her suddenly flashes, and the bulletproof glass above the ring slowly lowers. The entire arena is filled with bizarre silence. Then the sudden sound of mechanical whirring comes from all around them. Cheetah, now! Support Lin! Their guns blaze fire as bullets hit the ground under KO9's feet, driving her back. Then, as though they've received some kind of signal, every robot in the arena begins opening fire indiscriminately. The members of the audience scream and flee in all directions. Amidst the chaos, Changju and Cheetah hear Lin's voice over their communicators. Looks like luck was on our side in the end. Lin, it's you! You mean you weren't taken over by that whatever virus thing? Thank goodness, I thought you were really finished just now. Finish my butt, don't jinx me. Lin gets up and dusts herself off, changing out a new drum of ammo as she does. Then she vaults over the arena's fencing and returns to Frostfall Squad. Welcome back, Lin. Changju and Cheetah smile as they meet her gaze. Then they pivot and wordlessly take up a defensive formation. Where's Tololo? I'll tell you along the way. Right now, we're going to follow the route she planned and get out of here. The sooner the better. We can't use the elevator anymore, so we'll need to find an alternative route. In other words, we'll have to go through the back of the audience seating, follow a supply corridor, and then use it to reach the main deck. Cheetah, prepare to fall back. No problem, leader. Leave it to me. Cheetah pulls a flashbang out of her waist pack and pulls the pin, then throws it on the ground. Smile for the camera. A blinding flash of light envelops the arena, and KO9 is forced to shield her eyes. When she can finally open them, all KO9 can see is the trio running into the back of the seating area. Automatic loading. Pursuit. Command. Target. Identification. Successful. Still looking in the direction where the trio have fled, KO9 stands up once again and gives chase. Okay, so we're not done with her yet. Wait, so Mr. Arrogant Young Master went to all that effort to capture you because he wanted you to fight for him? Cheetah's exclamation was so loud that it echoes through the hall. A bunch of security troopers come to investigate, but a hail of fire forces them to take cover behind the pillars. As Lynn shoots, she gives Cheetah a "give me a break" look. "Hello, we're still trying to escape here. Can you keep it down?" "But things ended up this way because he half-butt everything." "Strictly speaking, it wasn't just because of that, but I don't have time to elaborate now. Cheetah, help me lay down some covering fire. I have something to tell Leader." "Teehee, no problem. This time I'll protect you, Lynn." Cheetah flashes an OK sign, then moves up to the head of the formation. Just then, a transmission from Tololo comes in. "Leader, head right to the fork up ahead, and you'll see the corridor leading to the deck. Or the dock, or whatever." I'm guessing deck. Understood. "Lynn, what is it that can't wait until we get up there?" "Sorry, Leader, but in a sense, this will be the last chance I'll get for this." Lynn takes a deep breath, then looks at the fork up ahead. "I managed to interface with their systems in the liner's main control room, and I found their exact locations. That is, the dolls being controlled by the arena staff. I want to take them with us." "What? Where are they being held?" "Area D3 on the port side." "Tololo, calculate a route there." "Roger." The reply from Tololo comes less than a minute later. "The left path of the fork ahead leads to Area D3, the exact opposite way from the exit, and ship security is closing in on your location. It would be a risky course of action. If Gerard Group and reinforcements arrive quicker than we can move, things will be even worse." "What do you want to do, Leader?" Changju doesn't reply, only tapping her terminal with her index finger. "Lynn, I'm fairly sure you've prepared yourself for this possibility, but I must remind you that if we choose to commit to this course of action, we might not be able to complete the objective or ensure everyone's safety. Even so, do you wish to proceed?" "Yeah. I can't do it by myself, so I need you, Cheetah, Tololo. I need all of Frostfall to help me out too." You don't say like this often." There's a short silence. Changju looks Lin in the eye, as though she's come to a decision. "Understood. Cheetah plans Frostfall Squad. We're heading to Area D3 to rescue the captured dolls." Lin blinks in surprise as she stares at her squad leader. This mental image she always had of Changju is someone who has always been cautious and diligent. Yet she has agreed readily to Lin's request. Lin can see the trust, which needs no justification in Changju's eyes. "Oh, so we're going to be doll savers now? Awesome. I've always wanted a Halo." "Tololo, help us draft up another route that helps us avoid ship security." "We'll go." "Lin, how many dolls are we talking about here?" "According to the data from the control room, there are about 170 of them. The more troublesome thing is that their neural clouds have been wrecked by the beta virus. They might not listen to us anymore." "Wait, so there's almost 200 of them, and they might not even cooperate with us? We can't exactly cart them all off one by one, right? Also, even assuming we got them into a position to be evacuated, we wouldn't have the time or cabin space to evacuate them all." Changju opens her terminal and begins thinking as she studies the ship's blueprints. "The dolls are all in the stern of the vessel. If we could trap the enemy amidships, it would give us a lot more time to work in." Cheetah looks over Changju's shoulder and studies the map. Then she points at the red shaded area at the middle rear of the vessel. "Leader, why don't we blow up the central fuel tank over here and cut the ship in half? That way, we can separate the part where all the dolls are." Wait. You want to blow the ship in half? Do we even have anything powerful enough to do that? Have you forgotten this genius forte? Cheetah produces a little ball out of nowhere and tosses it up, a wicked glint in her eyes. "Ta-da! Behold, my remote bomb, at last, a place for it to see proper use. Anyway, give the order, Leader. That bunny-eared doll is coming after us." Changju's gaze hardens as she focuses on the incoming figure in red. She quickly judges the feasibility of the mission and makes a decision. "Cheetah, plant the explosives at the central fuel tank. Watch for the chance to set it off, but only after Lin and I arrive." "Got it." "Tololo, contact Miss Hellion right now and have her send more backup. Once we scuttle the ship, we'll need more people. We need people who can manage and move the part of the vessel where all the dolls are. Understood. Lynn and I will stay here to alert the enemy to the other side of the ship. We'll buy time for Cheetah, Tololo, and our backup to arrive. Causing chaos should be Cheetah's strong suit, right? Still, never mind. This sort of thing is alright from time to time. Then reloads her Auto 12, then focuses her gaze on the incoming KO-9 before pulling the trigger. Her shotgun sprays a torrent of lead, blasting huge chunks, and on the masterfully carved marble paneling, a column collapses with a deafening crash. KO-9 is forced to stop as the fallen pillar blocks her path and throws up a huge cloud of dust. Aren't you good at running? Come catch us then. Here we go. Is Krolik here? Oh, there she is. Oh yeah, I'm really wondering about, like, her role in the story. There we go. I'm just wondering if, like, you know, 2 Kroliks are gonna be a thing. You know, a part of me does feel like it probably is before. Yeah, like before the event. Because they're not calling her Krolik, where... I know in the story, I think they haven't met in that Tsuchiro Cafe thing. Oh, shoot. Wait, that was... Okay, hold on, let me retry again. Yeah, that was unexpected. So wait, we gotta evacuate everyone? Hold on. Skip all. That's weird how, like, when we retry, we gotta, like, do the whole thing again. Okay, maybe I actually have to play this. Apparently there's an escort? Oh wait, evacuate everyone, right? It said? That I failed on? Okay, hold on. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, there she is. Her, like, defense is so high. Like her health. Wow, look at that. Oh, I just realized it's because of her, right? Yeah, she needs to stay away from her. Okay. A new idea? Maybe? Frick, I think I need to actually use a better team. Hold on, restart. Because it looks like she's been overpowered. Let me restart. Okay. I'm gonna use my meta team instead. Skip all. Or at least, you know, a team that's, like, good in combat, because... I thought maybe, you know... Yeah, evacuating everyone's gonna be hard because my Chongju is, like, low-leveled. So... I can't use her because she will probably go down. I think she was the one that got knocked down, right? Instead, I'll use my 404 people, because that's really the only one. Oh wait, that's not the one. Michidu, Belka, and Andorus. I just realized, Michidu, yeah, she's gonna be sleeping. I got that power up for her. See, what is this gonna look like now? Yeah, she escaped. Yeah, see, now Krolik is going down. Okay, okay. I think I need to wake her up. Everyone's like leaving, and Michiru is still there. Hold on. I need to wake her up. Did she wake up from that? I don't know. Let me see. I don't know exactly how her mechanic works. I just remember that she sleeps. There we go. Now she can move. Yeah, she needs to get out of there. Michitu's like way behind. Don't I gotta win within like 6 turns? Frick, I gotta do this mission again. I forgot how many turns it takes. But yeah, I think she's not gonna be that fast though. Right? Okay. Yeah, we'll see if we can try to get that bonus objective like done in time. I forgot the exact amount. I think there's a limit on a turn for me to get that extra thing. Okay. There we go. I think we won. Yeah, she's like really close. Yeah, we see win within 6 turns. Chongju and Lin used the terrain to mount hit and run attacks on KO9 and their pursuers. They managed to strand them on the B1 deck and get to the main deck on time. It's almost time. Are Cheetah and Tololo ready yet? The plan is going smoothly and our backup is in place. Head to the pickup point right now. They appear run toward the center of the ship, where they find Cheetah waving to them happily. Over here, over here! This time, I was faster than you and Lin. Aren't you gonna praise me? Tololo, bring the chopper in. Prepare for extraction. Chongju pulls Cheetah behind her and looks up. Tololo pilots the chopper toward the 3 of them. It comes to a halt at the last moment, the rotors churning up the waves on the surface of the water below. The cabin slides open, and Tololo pokes her head out to throw a rope ladder down to the 3 of them. Come on! Just then, there's a loud crash, and KO9 bursts out of the nearby hatch, her eyes aglow with crimson rage. She tightens her grip on her sword, and immediately lunges at the 3 dolls. Now, Cheetah, blow the charges. You're just in time. Cheetah squeezes the button on her detonator, and her bombs detonate the central fuel tank. A massive column of flame shoots in the sky and dyes the darkened sky in a dull red. The ship lurches heavily as it is cut in two. Fragments fly everywhere as the 2 halves keel over and begin sinking into the sea. KO9's frame is sent flying by the shockwaves, and she lands heavily on the stern of the vessel, while Frostfall uses this opportunity to scramble aboard the ladder. The helicopter climbs rapidly, rising high into the night sky. We did it! Lin can see the Hellions' backup arriving by the lights at the burning deck. The familiar, formerly dust-gathering tugboat is now towing away the stern of the vessel where the captured dolls are. Looks like we managed to rescue all of those dolls, as well as that KO9. Things were better than expected. We're lucky that our backup arrived before Gerard's forces did, but we can't get careless because of that. Tololo, activate EW stealth systems. We need to get out of here ASAP. Understood. Mission complete. Preparing to RTB. Tololo presses a button on the helicopter's control panel. It shimmers for a moment in the night sky, then it projects a holographic image around itself. Several seconds later, the helicopter blends into the starry sky, vanishing into the darkness before the dawn. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ship, yeah, so how's that guide going, the puppet boy or toy boy? A bedraggled figure struggles to his feet before pounding on the locked room like a madman. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Carl jabs at his communicator. He presses so hard that his fingers have gone white from the lack of circulation. The door thuds heavily under his pounding. Father, do you hear me? Mothership's about to sink. I know you must have some way to do it, so please save the ship. This is the last thing Mother left behind. Despite Carl's wail of despair, the only answer from the communicator is a sound of static. Just when he thinks there will be no reply, the person he is calling suddenly speaks in a quiet voice. Father, is that you? Thank God you answered. You'll see the ship, won't you? If I were you, I'd think of how to get out of that room first rather than whine and cry about a boat when your life is in danger. It's just a tool for making money. Is it really that important? It doesn't matter if it's blown up or scuttled. When something loses its value, it doesn't matter what happens to it. Dang, dude. I mean, I feel like for Carl, it has some sentimental value to it, so he doesn't want to lose it. I wonder what Carl will do. Will he stay on the ship? You know, the captain sinks with the ship, or will he abandon it? You're the only one who is so dedicated to something left behind by a corpse. Man. Yeah, he really doesn't like the mother. Like, he doesn't really care. No, it can't be. This is Mother's legacy. How can you care so little about it? Also, I'm still on the ship. I am your son. You can't just abandon me now. Abandon you? Yakov can't help but snort derisively at Carl's naive plea. My biggest mistake was not abandoning you after realizing that Celia had raised you into a failure, and even going as far as to give you chance after chance to prove yourself, including this one. What do you mean? Are you saying you already knew about my plan? But when did you... What do you think? Do you really think you could have entered the main control room just with your meager access privileges? As it turns out, not letting you in was the right thing to do. I placed you in charge of things just once, and you effed it all to heck. Not only did those PMC dolls run circles around you, they also managed to steal all the data in the main control room. And now, they got their hands on over 170 gladiator dolls. Exactly what do you think qualifies you to talk terms with me? You are the one who sank the ship, and you did it with your own hands. Yakov's judgment is like a cold blade sinking deep into Carl's heart. Carl clutches the communicator tightly, muttering to himself, unable to believe what he's hearing. No, it's not over yet. I can remotely trigger those dolls' self-destruct programming. I can destroy the evidence. We can still turn things around. Now, I am completely certain that you are even more of a mindless idiot than those dolls. They blew up the remote control server with their chopper before they left. You have well and truly effed things up now. What? Upon realizing that there's no coming back from this, Carl slumps to the ground. This isn't my fault. Those dang dolls were the only able to take advantage of the situation because I didn't get the full beta virus. It's not my fault if you just gave me another chance. Another chance? You still want another chance? The company's had its hand full dealing with FABN recently. The CEO is tearing his hair out by the handful over them. Did you know that? And now you choose of all times to pull off a stunt like this? There will be no chances for you. Carl's mouth hangs open as he looks at the door that will not open for him. He does not even have the words to deny his father's words. As a child, you fooled around with those high-grade parts like they were toys. It was like watching a monkey with a Kalashnikov. I don't know what that is. After all these years, you're still the same as when Celia was around. You haven't grown a bit. You don't even qualify to be an obstacle for me, let alone my successor. So, once something loses its value, it doesn't matter what happens to it. That includes me too, right? If you were this smart each time, you wouldn't have ended up like this. Yakov's words are casual, but they hit Carl like a punch to the gut. In Carl's memory, this is the first time his father has ever praised him, but it seems it will also be his last. No, you're my father. You wouldn't do this, right? You wouldn't do this to me, right? Everything I did was to make you proud. Ever since Mother died, I've been working hard, all this time. Don't bring up that mother of yours. Yakov suddenly explodes with rage. His resentment that has festered for so many years is finally pouring out. I wouldn't even have married that dumb female dog if it wasn't from the Orlog conglomerate. If she wasn't from the Orlog, she made a fortune, and all she did was sit on it, making a bunch of worthless toys or donating it to charity. Not only did she criticize me for obtaining 16 labs doll tech, she was even planning to reveal the secrets between me and the CEO to the public, and so she had to die. And good effing riddance to her. Oh wow. Did he kill the mother? Even after her death, she left someone like you behind. I've been living in her shadow for far too long. You should have died along with Celia. What? So you're saying you killed Mother? Crack. The nearby portholes collapse under the forces of the explosion, and glass rains down like hail. Carl's communicator falls to the ground, emitting a shrill error tone. Carl screams at it, but it will never answer him again. The rolling flames consume his final words. You extinguish the sparks Mother left behind. Man. I gotta say, I like Carl, like, as a character. You know? It's like, man, he's going through it, man. He's been going through a lot. But at the same time, you know, it's understandable why he met that fate, you know? Well, yeah. I guess that's the end for Carl, man. I wish we kind of, in a way, saw more. Like, just imagine he survived that whole thing. I mean, I would love to see, like, more of Carl. Like, you know, a part 2. Of, like, him maybe going after his father, maybe. Trying to avenge his mother. Because, yeah, we kind of, like, left Yakov, like, in the end, he just... he's still, like, around. I feel like, you know, the threat is not eliminated yet. And I feel like a good story point would be, like, him surviving, Carl surviving, and trying to get back at Yakov. I'm not sure if they would even, you know, consider that, because I feel like, you know, when it comes to the story, they would just want to focus on the dolls. But yeah, I'm not sure. Bribery records for government officials, illegal doll transaction logs, altered records for the ship's environmental emissions. The Gerard Group has quite the litany of sins into its name. Frostfall Squad is going through the data Lynn copied from the main control room. It is certainly quite impressive. There's a breakdown for the MV Novalis income and expenditure here too. Let me see. Wow, this is actually kind of scary. They make more in one day than our squad does in 1 month. It's just as we thought. The income from the entertainment was minuscule compared to the illegal betting on the doll arena. Well, we can now be completely certain that the Gerard Group was controlling and running the doll arena. They could be making a killing from the black market and use that opportunity to utilize their otherwise defective dolls. The Gerard Group wins either way. The beta virus was probably developed for that purpose and tested on the arena dolls. Oh yeah, speaking of which, don't you think you should get your frame checked out, Lind? It would be bad if there were traces of that virus left behind in your neural cloud. Don't worry, I'm not weak enough to be taken over by an incomplete virus. I'm more interested in why it works on IOP dolls. Wasn't it meant to target Gerard Group dolls? Lind, are you saying that you suspect that the Gerard Group stole 16 Labs doll technology? Lind nods. This virus isn't like normal programs. Its right locations and logic would require a target with highly similar base layer code for it to work. But if the base layer code were too similar, then it would be essentially be intellectual property theft. If that's really true, we can use the evidence from the doll arena as proof of the Gerard Group's crimes and make them pay for what they've done. Indeed, even without the technology theft, just the proof of their crimes is enough to bring the Gerard Group to court. I'll contact Miss Hellion now. Once we get back, we'll verify the matter ASAP. I'm pretty sure what we found will help the commander and Miss Kalina in some way. Here we go. So we are in contact with the commander. I'm not sure if, like I said, if it's before or after that whole event. But, you know, I feel like at the very most, you know, they're probably informed about the contact with the commander through Miss Kalina. Yeah, through Kalina. See, that's what I assume. Changju opens a comms channel to Hellion and begins sending over what she's learned. After receiving Hellion's reply, Changju's stern expression softens considerably. I have good news. Miss Hellion managed to find a neutral organization that's willing to take in the dolls from the arena and help them clear out the remaining beta virus in the neural clouds. Really? That's great. They'll finally be able to shake off the Gerard Group's control. Additionally, The organization will provide them with counseling and support them as they reintegrate into human society. Not only will they be able to remove the Jawar group's influence, these dolls will also receive a chance to make a fresh start. You did very well, Lind. Hmm. Lind doesn't answer, only leaning against the cabin wall in silence. The scorching pain from the virus infection still aches in her body, and a sense of survivor's guilt envelops her. Lin reflexively looks down at her trembling hands. I'm sorry. Eh? Lin? Lita was praising you. Or are you apologizing? Never seen her this sad. Look at her. She's got tears on her eyes, too. I mean, all this happened because I went off without permission and acted alone, right? Well, at the same time, like, you saved all, so I think in the end, like, I'm sure you went against orders, but at the same time, at least I feel like the results matter more than, like, than like, anything bad that she's done that caused this. I mean, that's just me, though. I feel like if it works out in the end, then it works out. Of course, like, I would try to do smart decisions and, try to follow the leader. But yeah, I think in the end, I feel like it's better than, it happened, the results are, like, way better than, like, the cause of her, like, not following orders. I even asked to change the plan at the last minute for selfish reasons. If anything had happened to you all because of that, then I... Then swallows the rest of her words. The three of them quickly exchange glances. Then they headed over to Lin's side as one. Was this Lin? Are you actually worried about us? Okay, so I guess she's more worried about, like, putting them into danger, the Frostball squad. Relax. We're all okay, right? I believe our squad exists to support each other, understand each other, and to encourage each other. In the end, your plan turned out fine. Yes, Cheetah and Tololo are correct. I know what kind of feelings must have motivated you, Lin. Your unwillingness to let Griffin wither away, the anger that drove you to save your fellow dolls, the pain you felt when you thought you had involved us in your trouble. The truth is, we're all the same. The same? Correct. Changju gently pats Lin on the shoulder and smiles tenderly. As members of the Frostfall Squad, we all have the same goal. We simply see things from different perspectives. Ultimately, I'm also partially responsible for this. I didn't communicate my thoughts clearly with you, which led you to feeling like you have had to take everything on by yourself. So don't blame yourself anymore and relax a little. Okay. Lin looks up and her eyes filled with gratitude. It is then that Changju notices the wound KO9 made on Lin's arm. Here, I'll help take care of that for you. Changju takes out a repair kit and patches up the cut with a gentle touch and practice skill. The pain from the wound makes Lin wince. Why don't you turn off your pain modules, Lin? Patching wounds up hurts, The truth is, I can't disable my frame's pain modules. Why not? Doesn't that mean you've been enduring all that pain during each battle? Lin falls silent and then nods. Well, I wouldn't say enduring it. After all, I'm used to it now. I was an experimental doll used in clinical trials. Part of the reason why Carl kidnapped me was because of that. What? Lin doesn't feel the disgust or awkwardness she expected when discussing this part of her history that she didn't want to disclose. Instead, she feels free. My first memories of this world were an icy cold research institute and endless days of clinical trials. My frame receives special modifications in order to meet certain experimental requirements. Not being able to switch off my pain modules was one of them. Wow. That can really sucks, man. So, like, was she really made just to be experimented on and all that surgery, but also to, like, feel pain on it as well? I'm kind of curious about that research, whatever they're doing, because I'm guessing, like, they're doing experiments to where they also want to record, like, they don't want to use a real human for this, so they would use a machine and then turn on the pain modules for them just to simulate a real person's pain. I'm guessing that's what's happening, is that, they're trying to, I don't know if they're like, they're just trying to, like, record how painful their procedure is, because I feel like their experiment is probably, like, surgery related. and they want to make sure that they can observe her pain while in that surgery. Like yeah, like even without what was it called again? That laughing gas thing. Like yeah, it's interesting. But doesn't that make fighting in everyday life really inconvenient? Why don't we ask Miss Helene to change out your frame when you get back? I'm sure she'll be able to think of something. Lynn shakes her head. One of Griffin's researchers asked me the same question when I first came to Griffin. He said that human sensory feedback would affect my performance in battle and recommend that I change into a more convenient body, but I refused. Wasn't that a good chance to do it? What'd you say no? I didn't know why I did it back then. I just did it out of reflex. Same thing with my name. Oh wow. I ought to be repulsed by the name Lind. The lab I was in gave it to me, and it contains all the painful memories from back then. I'm guessing it's just her. That's why she doesn't want to change out, just because she just wants to be herself. But even after getting a chance to change my name, I still chose this one. At that time, I didn't know why I was so insistent on it, but now I think I'm slowly beginning to understand. Lynn looks at her friends. Back then, I thought I existed to be a test subject, and that my pain was the only value I had. To deny this pain would deny my entire life and the reason I had for existing. It was in Griffin that I came to understand the true worth of a doll. And it was my bonds with everyone that helped me realize that I could keep moving forward, even while carrying the pain of the past, and that I could fight to protect others. I mean, the first step of accepting your past is being able to look it in the eye, right? Lind. And that's why I won't change my body, and I won't change my name. Frostfall Squad made me feel like I belonged, and you helped me understand my reason for existing. Thank you for all that. A can of cool fruit juice suddenly presses itself against Lynn's cheek. Lynn looks back and sees Cheetah grinning at her, waving a pack of snacks she swirled away for a moment like this. Don't be so gloomy, Lynn. Frostwall is a home for 4, which means we're all essential to it. Makes perfect sense, right? Just like how you can't leave us, we can't leave you either. That's right. We are only able to handle difficult missions because we have you around. Whether in the past, present, or future, we will always fight side by side. Yep. In order to celebrate yet another perfectly completed mission, let's throw a party when we get back to base. Correction, it will be an after-crisis review meeting. Fortunately, the gold chip that Leader and Cheetah brought back is worth quite some money. Indeed, not only did we solve our current financial emergency, I've also managed to come up with a promising action plan for the future. With Tololo's observation skills, the support from Cheetah's items, Lynn's combat power, and my planning ability, we managed to demonstrate exceptional results in rescuing the hostages and have proven that we can handle similar tasks of the same kind in the future. I believe that Frostfall Squad's reputation will soon spread far and wide. You know what? Yeah, in the end, everything works out to benefit us. Not only us, but also the dolls too that we rescued. Beep beep. The communicator rings. Upon seeing the name on it, Chongju smiles. It's from Miss Helene. Let's take it together. The 4 members with Frostwell Squad looks at each other and smile. Then they press the receive button. As the helicopter rises through the last of the collapsed particle clouds, the warm light of dawn shines on their faces. This is Frostfall Squad. That's cool. I liked how they synchronize with that. Mission complete. We're heading home. Okay. And that was it for the story. Yeah, I thought that was a really good story. We finally got to meet them in the main story. I'm not sure if we ever saw them. I'm guessing, I assume that they probably have some side stories that I never tried out. But when it comes to the main event story stuff, either the main story or event story, they finally showed up. And we got to experience them through Lynn because, when it comes to new dolls, she's the only one that we haven't played as. We had Tololo, we had Chongju and Cheetah at the launch of the game. And now, yeah, I guess it makes sense to introduce them in the event story through Lind, because she's the only one that wasn't released, and yeah, we get to see her here. Yeah, overall, the story was really good. I thought Carl was very interesting. I think his past is interesting, his motivations, and then his fate. You know, I can see it going either way. I think either way, like if he dies or lives, I'm pretty much satisfied with it. You know, it makes sense that he dies. You know, he's a bad guy, and the father was like really talking him down and stuff. But yeah, it was really entertaining, man. I like the story. I am kind of curious about that Krolik. Like, what is that Krolik gonna do now? Like, is she just gonna be like some normal person now? I assume that Krolik is meant to for like combat purposes, so I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I am kind of wondering about the timeline, like I said before, where I'm not sure if this is before or after that whole, you know, Springfield and Perry event. So I wonder like where this takes place in the timeline. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, there you have it. That is it for that whole Lind event. Next time, I guess we'll see what comes after. But yeah, I was able to knock this out all in 1 week. But yeah, just want to get this one like, you know, like out of the way and stuff. Yeah, I got Lin. I got all the dolls for Frostwall Squad. I feel like right now all I need is Michitu's weapon. And I guess the purple weapon for Macchiato too. And I feel like with that, I'm just pretty much good with everything else. Like, I don't think I want to get like another, like, I guess lore team ready. Just because I feel satisfied with this already. Unless they're like so cool. Like, they gotta be like really, really like cool to me. Like, yeah, if they're cool, then yeah, I think they're cool, but I don't want to get them. I'd rather like have enough collapse pieces for me to get like a full squad of like lore people. Like a lore team. But yeah, I'd rather like save it up for like, imagine like if they have like a mech. I'm not sure if they can ever do that. Because yeah, that's like what I want in like all the gacha games I've been playing so far. Like, I've been getting like mech characters like Firefly and Honkai Star Rail. In Nikkei I got I think his name was Talos. And then also in Zenless Zone Zero I got the what's her name? Seed. Because of Seed Senior. Yeah, I feel like the only reason why I would want to get like another doll would be for its you know, if it has like a mech or something similar, where it's got to be like extremely out there for me compared to other like cool dolls that I want. But yeah, like I said, there you have it. That is it for this video. Next time we'll see what's next. You know, we do have probably the first year anniversary. Like, I do remember I first played this game like I think around December time, right? So I assume the anniversary is going to be coming up at some point. Like, how many days is there? Because yeah, I am like recording this on the, you know, on the day it's being uploaded, so 11 days. So like, I guess around a week or so is probably when we're going to get some news. Like, what is today's date? The 15th. See, that's almost December. I am wondering what they're going to show for the next patch, because it could be a really big one. If it's going to deal with the first year anniversary. Let me check this game. Like, when was it released for global? Because I know it was like first released in China, I think. Let's see. Girls Frontline 2 release date. Because I assumed they would make a December 3rd for North America, Europe, and other regions. Just based on Google right now. Wow, okay. That's really close. I really feel like the next patch is going to be the first anniversary. It makes sense. December 3rd. I mean, if you take this right now. Like, yeah. That means this will end on... yeah, pretty much on the 26th, I think. Around that time. That'll be the next patch. That's got to be the first anniversary, because it's within that, you know, time frame for the next like character banner. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. That's gonna be crazy to watch and see like what they offer. Okay. Actually, that got me scared now, because like, what if it's a doll I really like? I don't have anything saved. Will I even stand a chance to, if it's someone that I really want? I'm not sure. You know what? Because it's the anniversary, I bet it's probably gonna be like, um, you know, those dolls that we met like early in the story. That's like with Kalina. It's probably gonna be them if I had to guess. Because like I know, I think those dolls, right, with like Kalina and stuff. Like, I don't know if I heard this before or something. I kind of forgot. But yeah, I assume they're like the pretty much Girls Frontline 1's version of like our current like starting squad with like Rosa and stuff. Because like the way like in one cutscene in this game they presented it, it kind of looked like they all like got together again. Like it's one of the early cutscenes. I forgot which one it was. But yeah, I'm guessing that's like gonna be a thing for the first anniversary of this game. Anyways, yeah, I've been blabbering for a bit too long now. I'll end here. That'll be for now, guys. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good